Peace. Good afternoon. Actually, good evening. I'd like to welcome you back to another edition of the Foul Playland. As always, I'm your foul player, burnt to a fucking crisp, laid out on the beach all day. Um, but I wanted to talk about people having changes of heart. Well, more so on a stance that I took early on in the year, in November, if you will, and I had a lot of people coming at me sideways. Even people I sort of grew up with. Not people that I grew up with, but people like in the outskirts of who I grew up with. I've had family members also have a change of heart, if you will, and follow me down the path of righteousness. But I wanted to talk about that. Plus, I wanted to say, like, I haven't been able to make any content lately because, like I said, I'm on vacation. And let me show you the vacation. This is not renting no second floor shit either. Like it's the whole house. No, because like a lot of these things are probably like some two family joints. Actually, no, none of these are. The other street is. But and it is not my house. I wish fucking rented this house on vacation. If you guys don't know, the best vacations are places where not that many people go. Even though this is like a little bit popular, but it's not like Ocean City or some shit or Jersey Shore. No, but anyways, going to like Myrtle Beach on vacation or anything like that, like you're gonna rent the like tiny ass house, like fucking with like 1,000 people next to you, hicks, dumb mother like ghetto cats, like you don't want all that stuff, like and a lot of times like people like that don't have like bread like that, like they don't really get to research, I guess, vacations and shit, so they go to the natural spots. Six Flags. I never been to Six Flags in my life. My friends got into fights at Six Flags though. Two different times that they went. So plus I don't like rides and shit like that. Like so maybe it was meant for me not to go. But no, but if you do like take a vacation, like you'll go to way better places that are like off the beaten path. Fucking than you would at no Myrtle Beach. All you're gonna see at Myrtle Beach is like fat white bitches, like their guts out, like fucking drinking beer and like the little breezeways and all that shit. Like you don't want to see all that. Like on vacation. If you guys can't hear me, let me know too. So I'm out in the wind. I guess I'll see what the stream sounds like after the fact. But yeah, I wanted to talk about the main tenant at hand, which is the change of heart that I've been noticing a lot of people having, um, with no real reason of yet too, like or like with a reason that I don't see to be so big, um, in just 3 months time, 4 months time, if that. Big time changes of heart from late January to now. But I'm having like a lot of people in my life, like it's not like that I was emotionally vested to voting conservatively or like that's not like my thing like that. Like like personally, like like I think nobody should pay for healthcare. I think that even though I'm not like a big proponent of like a woman's right to like or a woman like abortions in general, but I think that it should be a woman's choice, and or that men shouldn't be the ones that influence that vote too much. Do I think late term abortions are like right? Absolutely not. Like I think that's terrible. Um, Maybe I shouldn't speak on it as much, but I think the way that like the left has like kind of like um latched onto that subject to the ire of like or only to antagonize like the conservative right, if you will. Um, like it's like over the top. Anytime like that liberal people or like the left gets latched on to a topic that they supposedly like care a lot about, they usually go over the top. Like not over the top, like or they'll usually like try to, and a lot of times like I think a lot of these things that they rally behind are insincere on their part. Cause like I mean like, but and I'll say that right now. A lot of you know, a lot of the causes that the left has adapted to in 2021, like they were pretty silent on in 2017. Why is it that you had to build yourself up to that, and it in a matter of 4 years? Like I understand building up to it and taking 40 years, but dudes were getting murked by the police, you know, every month. It's not like shit changed, or yeah, like R.I.P. to Floyd, but and his got caught on video, but um, there were people getting murked by the boys, like by the cops all the time, like, and like the left wasn't like too crazy, like about rallying behind that, in 2018, 2019. Um, like, how is it that you're so passionate about something in 2021 and you're pretty much silent on it in 2019? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lady running for the governor of New York, um, and she, or the mayor of New York, but she was saying about how she would get like dudes like these cops that go over the top, like fired, like like in the case of Eric Garner from Staten Island. She's saying that now, like that she's running, but when that went down, which I think was 2019 or 2017, supposedly she would had a government job for the city of New York at that point. I think her name was Maya some shit. But when um when they asked her about it, then like around the time of Eric Garner's death, like she said something completely different, like along the lines that people like shouldn't expect, you know, certain things, like as far as getting like police to lose their jobs or something to that effect. It was worse than what I'm saying. But what I was saying earlier, as far as the left throwing themselves behind a certain like cause, when they do, and this not like the whole like, it is more like in the like and this is zero to do with like how they like get behind like the racial equality thing, even though I think like the liberal white left are insincere on like their love for that cause, let's say. But when it comes to like abortion, like I understand like it's not a man's right to pick or to really give their input, but then you have like people online like that they sort of like rally behind like abortion, like not like politicians but like regular people, like feminist women, like your average one. And I saw one like doing a video of that she's getting an abortion like in a few days, and she was like pounding like wine or alcohol or some shit. See, that's like grimy, like, and like when you do that, you're not doing that like because like you're like an abortion is fun or anything like that. You're kind of doing that to be antagonistic, and like I get being antagonistic like with certain shit, but when it comes to like anything to do with kids, like it's over the top. And the liberal left like usually throws it like too much weight, like that in that example, or like with the whole pandering, like with the pride stuff, like like where they go way over the top. And speaking of too, I think the Puerto Rican parade got canceled this weekend, but I'm pretty sure that that Pride one is gonna march on. But um no, but and also like with the like a lot of the Pride stuff you see online, like when they throw their weight behind something hard body like that, like now like another example is like with the whole like trying to get kids to attend like Pride stuff, or like they show like cartoons a lot of times, and it's like there was one on the show Blue's Clues, and like they had like a drag queen like with kids and like talking about going to Pride parades, like it's a little much, you know. And then like when it's done to like kids, you know, because I could see the people that maybe are proponents of doing that getting like overreactionary to somebody like me who would like voices like displeasure with that. But anyhow, um as far as like people switching it up, like there were a lot of people that like looked at me and along many months ago in January of 2021 that were looking at me like I was funny status, or me like who's for all intents and purposes never voted, um except once. um what else? Me who's been riffing about the same stuff, like, and even if you like, if you know me only from like YouTube boxing stuff, like I'm not like, you know, heavy in the game like that with my little 100 subscribers, but when I would jump on other people's channels historically, like it was always with a tinge of my my gun honus, or my pride and like being a take no prisoners, like, you know, man of color, if you will. You know, to even like when I would come around in like these like YouTube circles, like, you know, with boxing and whatnot, like, you know, the like it was always with the tinge of that, you know, like, so and I'm not saying that a lot of like the the change of hearts that I'm experiencing happen from YouTube people. In fact, like it really never got like to like straight politics with like YouTube people. Maybe like once, but nothing deep like that. Talking about people in real life, like like people from like your Facebook friends and whatnot, and like, you know, you may not have like social media, but a lot of people do. And right now, I mean, like when nobody like really meeting up with each other, or like, you know, in the midst of like, you know, being locked down, sometimes it's like a lot of people's sole avenue to the world. It's not me solely, but I mean, not that I interact with mad people, but I go out, you know, or I like to be out and about and doing stuff, you know, where I know a lot of people like haven't seen another soul like in since you know, last year. But even people with that issue, like, you know, people were looking like, you know, I didn't even like to bring it up. Like if I met with people, you know, like I would never bring up like the whole fact that like this shit is like lock D, you know, last year, like um but back then, like I mean, like a lot of people, I mean, a lot of people didn't come out right and like say like, you know, that I was bigoted, or like, you know, didn't believe in science, um or like like that wasn't happening like face to face like that. Like it was more like people that I know, but like that I know more now, or like that I have a little chance to see them because, you know, everybody's online, like, or see them in person. But and it wasn't like I was getting a lot of that either. Like a lot of people telling me like, you know, all the time, but I know they had it in them, but like they probably, a lot of them know who I am like from like before, and I'm not like a douche. So like they probably like, you know, like, but they, you know, they really want to, but then they like probably think I'm a okay guy, so they don't. Um, but a lot of those same people knew where I stood the whole time. So, and I'm seeing a lot of those people now, like, you know, tell me that they agree with me 100%, that they were fooled, you know. And it's happened like twice this week, and it's not like it's a victory for me either. Like, don't like, I don't like to be like I told you so, like, you know, or like especially continually like being like I told you so. And if you make a decision that lasts 4 years, you know, like it's you're gonna be, you know, you have a lot of chances to give somebody I told you so's within that span of that 4 years. Um, but you know, it's crazy. I mean, but it's happening a lot like lately. Like a lot of the things that I was saying was too much, like that was happening in the world. A lot of people like are now noticing like how much like or how much too over the top like we've gotten to. Well, a lot of these things I talk about all the time, or like that I've talked about all the time, which I really, you know, and another thing too. I mean, like one thing a lot of people can't like deny or doubt is like the overly censoring. Like that shit sucks. Like I don't like that for anybody. When I don't agree with somebody or when I like want to see somebody doing bad because of his opinion or like because of his stance or whatever have you, like I wouldn't want, like, even if it's like terrible, like even if that person is just solely about like doing me and my like mind's harm, um you know like I wouldn't want like somebody else to like be like his like to go like basically police like what they could do like on my behalf. Like it's just like I don't know. But a lot of people right now, like I've said it like in the past too, that like um the censoring that's happening now, if it's happening to people that you may not necessarily agree with, you know, it would be terrible if you did agree with somebody and like you start seeing like the that happening to them, like and like I know, like like right now it's like it's very easy to be made to look like a douchebag or like a bad person, when somebody like is behind like the power like to make you look like however they want basically. But I mean, and like even like now, like I really can't like go deep and say like certain things like because I would have this conversation a lot more clearly, but I don't want to get this channel blasted. I don't want to get this stream taken down. But because I would like to talk about these things like all the time, frankly, like and a lot more deeply. You know, it's tough like with the YouTube with all these things. Like the taping of the mouths of dissension. I guess I don't know. Yeah, but I actually went a little bit past. Let me. If the Mets are tied or winning, I'm gonna stop the stream though. Let me check the score real quick. But if we're getting our ass whooped, nah, that's it. The Mets, it's 0-0 Mets, bottom of the first. So I gotta catch that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna end this. But thanks for checking me out with that, and thank you for stepping into the Foul Playland. As always, I'm your Foul Player. Peace.